could put a little speck of that mask.
That's what I was gonna tell you.
You think I should?
Yeah.
Cassie, tomorrow, give you and Shelly and figure it out.
That's fine. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I just
here's
don't
my
want-
deal. Like, I don't like confrontation.
Yeah.
I don't care to like tit for tat. If you don't like me, that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
have to. I don't have a problem with you. You
Yeah.
know.
No, I understand that.
And when you did
that's
approach me
not-
that last time, I was totally honest with you why I hadn't made an effort to get to know you
Yeah, me
because
too.
because
And
I felt like you didn't
Yeah.
try with anyone else but Rachel. And I told you that. I told her that.
Yeah.
I've not said anything or done anything to come back to me in any negative kind of way. So when I heard that from Shelly, I was just like,
Yeah,
number
no,
one,
I
I
mean,
didn't mention Shelly at all. And
No,
so
I
then when
know.
that was said, I was like, how could that even?
Well, it was about Shelly's comment or whatever, you know, and you thought
No,
that
I asked you what was wrong. We went in the other room,
And you
and
said,
you
"Are
said
you
the Jeff
upset?"
and Jordan thing, and I said, cool. I said, I just wanted to make sure it didn't have anything to do with Shelly and that comment. And you said no, and I was like, cool, and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Shelly was under the impression that, you know, as if I was saying something about her, and
I get that. So
I
that's why,
respect
like,
Shelly as
tomorrow-
more than just a person in this house, and more than my partner. And so when that was
Yeah.
said, you know,
No, that's fine. But when you thought that I was upset because about that, I understand if she took it the wrong way because I went and approached her like, hey, I'm not upset about you that you said something about Keith going home. You know, I just want you to know that. And she goes, why would you think that? And I was like, well, Cassie thought that I looked upset because of that reason. So I just want you to know that's not it. I'm like, so if you want to all get together tomorrow or something and talk about it like together and just like clear it up because I don't want, you know, I don't want anyone thinking, you know, especially
I'm fine now.
with
Like
everything going on. No, I know,
I've-
but I just want to make
when
sure
it was
that
first
she
said to
has it
me,
clear too.
you were over in the
Like, on
hammock, and
your whole thing.
I wanted to jump up and run over there, but I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm a grown woman.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
here to
can-
have
yeah.
petty little bullshit.
Exactly.
And so
But,
when I
like,
saw you in here alone,
the
that's why I
comment.
said something to you then.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
that's
want to make
why.
some big stink out
I
in the
was
yard.
confused by your comment because that's not how I meant it or how it should have been taken.
I just
So
feel
we
like
can all get
bottom line,
together
I
and
feel like
talk
you don't
about
like
it.
me, and that's okay.
It's not that I don't
It's
like
totally
you, though.
okay. But when I felt like it became personal and had something to do with Shelly, that's why I said something to you.
Yeah, and it's not that I
But
don't
you
like
said what you said,
and I thought
and-
that's what we had already talked about.
And again, I
thought
don't
we've been
know.
okay the last
I
couple
don't know if you're
days
blowing
and
smoke
stuff.
up my ass or if you're real what you say to me, and that's okay. Like I will never know that. All I have
Yeah.
to go on is your word.
Yeah.
And so you said you didn't mean anything by that, and so I'll take that for what it is,
Okay, but
and
you
it's
still think I
fine.
don't like you, but I've never done anything.
I don't know
or
if you do or
said
not,
anything
and
for you
there-
to think that I don't like you.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, it doesn't. So
Okay.
I'm good, is what I'm telling you.
Okay,
Like if
that's
you want to
fine.
talk
Yeah, me
you and
too.
Shelly tomorrow, we can.
But
But I'm
I
fine,
don't
is
want
what I'm
there to
saying.
be any like confusion.
Like I was
about
fine
it.
when I left the room. Like I
Yeah.
said what I needed to say to you because.
Well, no, I wasn't because I thought like I didn't think that there had to be any reason for you to think that that there should be like me talking to Shelly about something like that. I just wanted to make sure that it never got around to her that I was upset with her for something she said about Keith.
Okay. And so
That's
you
why-
talked to her.
Yeah, that's why I talked to her
That's
like
fine.
right after because in case she did take it that way too, I don't need someone thinking that I'm upset with them for something that I thought was totally a ridiculous like thing. Like I would
Right, and I
never-
would think you would think that since it was
Yeah.
made to Keith, who you're up against. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I was so confused when you came to me and you're like, "Are you upset about what Shelley said about Keith?" And I'm like, "No." Like,
And I simply said
why
that
would I be
because
upset about
right
something
after
she said
Rachel and
about
I
Keith?
had made some, dumb comment
You just
on
understand girl talk.
all in fun or whatever, and then I walked off, I saw y'all whispering, so I assumed it had something to do with me or Shelly. And that's why I approached you
Okay.
the first time.
Okay. Yeah. No, it had nothing to do with anything like that. So I just thought it was like weird for me that like that's what you said. Like are you upset with Shelly about what she said about Keith? And I'm like, why would I ever be upset about what someone said about Keith? So I just wanted to make sure she knew that in case for some strange reason, like she thought that I would be upset with her about something.
I don't
she
know
said
why you
about
would.
him.
I mean, she wasn't even in the room when y'all were talking, or in. Well, it doesn't matter. It's all silly, the
Oh,
whole
okay.
thing. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Nothing else was mentioned, like, about you or Shelly or anything like that. The only thing is I went and told her, like, hey, just so you know, in case for some reason it comes back that I'm mad at you for what you said about Keith, that's not the case at all, because I'm not going to be mad about that. But I didn't mean it, like, as a way for her to be mad at you or something like that. I just wanted to make sure she knew beforehand that that wasn't a situation at all.
Okay,
So,
well, somewhere along
that's
the
why I'm
lines of
saying,
communication,
if you all want to
it
get together
got
tomorrow and
it
talk
got
about it at some point, I think
blown
it would be
up.
a good idea, because there shouldn't be any reason for that. And there's nothing that I don't like you or something, so that's not, I mean, you think what you want or whatever, but we haven't talked that much, and even when we have talked now, I thought it's been okay. And like being around the last few days, I thought it was okay. Like,
I did too.
okay. I mean, I'm not sure like if, you know, you and Keith are hanging out a lot or whatever, but like, I'm
I
not
don't-
mad at you or anything.
Keith has nothing to do with it. And I
Yeah,
spent
okay.
very little time with him, less and less as time goes on, as a matter of fact. So
Okay, but yeah, but I didn't think that we had any problems, like, since like we talked the other day. Like, I thought I was starting to hang out with everybody, and like including him, who I haven't talked to before a lot, and now I'm like feeling like I was getting to know everybody more. So I didn't.
I guess I just
thought
to be
I just
totally
thought it was
honest
really
with you,
weird
when it
you
comes
said
to you,
that.
I can't. I'm just being totally real right now. Like I told you before in the room the other day. Like, I'll just be honest with you. When it comes to you, I just can't gauge you. Like, when you say things to me, I can't tell if you're being sincere or if you're just, you know, playing the game or whatever. And that's why I don't really have a whole lot to do with you, is because I'm, you know, I've got a very tight, small group of friends, but the friends I've got are great friends, and I just
Yeah.
don't mess with the rest.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against you. That's just a feeling, and whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, because we just met.
Yeah.
But that's, so if you
That's
feel
fine.
like
That's
I'm
how I am at
standoffish
home.
with you or whatever, that's what it is. You know, I don't hate you. I don't hate anyone at all, in
Okay,
here,
yeah,
outside. Like,
yeah,
I'm
me either.
not that way,
So.
but that's just, I'm just being real with you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, me either. I just thought like when you know when
And
you
I just felt like when
approached
you
me
did
saying
come to
that
me, it was after
weird.
nominations, and I was like, okay, does she legitimately, you know,
No, it
want to
won't-
strike up,
It
you
wasn't
know, get to
meaning
know
after
each other?
nominations. It was after he like freaked out on me, and I realized that the one person I was trying to get to know in the house was not here to get to know me too. If he was like, you know, he was playing with everybody else and saying things to me and like tricking me into thinking he was someone he wasn't, and then he tried to like put me on blast for everybody right after nominations, whether it was to try to get votes or whatever. But he did it to me like before the veto competition, and he did it like after the whole Dick leaving, and it was like a stressful night for everybody. And I wanted to talk to you because at that point I realized like I was screwing myself up by not getting to know everyone individually in the house and just paying attention to one person. Like, that's why I came to you. It had nothing to do with being after nominations or anything like that. It was after I realized that the person I was trusting the most in the house I wasn't able to trust. And I was like screwing myself by not getting to know everybody else and thinking like, okay, we have this like tight bond, like everybody like came in the house first and whatever. And that's why we talked about it. But I didn't understand why I would ever be mad about that. So when you said that comment to me, I was like, why would you think?
I was just throwing something out there because literally what it was is I got it from the table after we played our game. I'm walking past, me and Rachel said some funny little banter about that game we were playing, whatever.
And maybe it was just like
as I'm walking
a
away,
little bit of like wine on my face.
immediately
I don't
after
know.
her and I finished and walked off, you were whispering to her, and so of course I automatically assume, me or Shelly or something. And I'm just, and
I don't know why
I
you
wouldn't
even assume
even
that.
typically,
Like,
because
if
it
any-
happened right after I was there.
Okay.
And
But
because,
what if
like
I
I
was
just
still
told you,
sitting
I've
down?
never felt like a
Yeah,
thing with
that's-
you.
Yeah.
You've been the only one in the house that I haven't. And so I just, so of course it, struck me. And typically I wouldn't even say anything because why bother? Obviously there's going to be people in here that just don't click or whatever, and that's fine. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just,
But out of anything for you to
personalities
say,
and whatever.
For
Let
me,
me finish real fast.
Okay, sorry.
And so when that happened, I guess it was just more of a matter of I was just at a point where I was like, no, I'm not just going to let this keep, sweeping under the rug. And there's been several little, some things I've heard, and I'm not putting any names out there. Doesn't matter, but there's been things I've heard and just a vibe I've gotten from you and stuff. So all of that stuff leading up, that's why when that happened, I was like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and call her out like, are you talking about me? Because I'm 26 years old. But at the same time, I wanted to open up the door, you know, for you to say anything you needed to say to me if you had something to say.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, are you okay? Like, is everything all right here? You know, and you were like, yeah, it's fine. Then you were like, well, let's go in here and talk. And then when we did, and you were like, no, everything's good. And I was like, okay. And that was just kind of, you know, to be totally frank again, just kind of my way of being like, okay,
You
well,
put it out there like I was mad at Shelly. You're like, are you upset with Shelly about
what I'm trying to finish here is I said that because that was my excuse, if you will, for asking you if everything was all right.
Okay.
It really had nothing to do with that because ultimately I knew why would you be upset about that because it was Keith she was talking about, not you. But I said that to, because for me to even approach you at all and be like, are you all right? That's not typically me. It's like if you like me or you don't, and if you don't, cool, and if you know what I mean, I don't really care. And